Hello, and welcome to the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. I'm Dan, the teacher.
I'm Morg, one of the students.
And I'm Devon, the other student.
And this week, we're talking about more UK Sonic the comic. Quite a few issues this week, but first, some news, and sadly it's not great news. Sega announced in a Japanese tweet that it would be collaborating with DoubleJump.Tokyo for the creation of NFT products.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Make it stop.
I'm so sick of this.
Now, our listener base probably knows why NFTs are bad, but I'm just going to reiterate it in 3 concise points. Number 1, NFTs are a scam. Most of the people who engage in NFTs generally don't make back enough money that it's worth its time. Number 2, I forgot. Number 2, NFTs are virtually useless. All they do is say this is officially their thing without any other official sources saying it. It's putting a copyright on an image that is virtually meaningless. And number 3, and this is the important one, NFTs, by using blockchain, have a huge negative impact on the environment. Blockchain, and which Bitcoin is powered through, uses a lot of energy. It has a profound negative effect on the environment. Like, it uses a lot of power. The amount of energy wasted by Bitcoin mining rigs and whatnot actually outweighs most green energy produced.
Yes. It's, think of a computer. It's whatever. Personal computer is fine. But that's thousands of personal computers. I think more than that.
Yeah.
It's a ton of energy. There's smarter people than I am that have calculated it out, and it's kind of insane.
And if ever you're online and you're like, hey, NFTs are bad, and a weird nerd online is just like, oh, but this one uses all green energy. It's yeah, but they could be using that for literally anything else.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe there's a whole story about some town that mostly uses green energy, I believe in the Pacific Northwest, that has been damaged by the fact that a lot of people moved their Bitcoin rigs over there so they could just benefit off the lower power costs.
I'm sick of this.
And also, it's also worth noting that the blockchain rigs have also made it impossible to buy a decent graphics card under $500.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sick of this.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and that's a terrible precedent for other other companies are gonna do it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's other video game companies are gonna want to be oh, well, Sega's doing it? Well, me too, then, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So far, most people who have gone into NFTs are moderately successful, but generally independent artists. When I say that, I don't mean your average poor person who relies on Patreon funds and Ko-fis and whatnot. I'm talking about people who actually make a sustainable middle class income, and celebrities, and basically people who already can support themselves and don't need this fancy expensive thing to make more money.
Right, yeah.
Also, an NFT is just a shitty image online that you could literally steal at any time, so...
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a collectible. Just do what furries have always fucking done and sell and buy collectibles.
Or just, like, get a
like,
commission.
Way better.
Like, find an artist
Yeah.
online that you like and be like, hey, make this thing for me. Don't sit there and be like, I want a personalized NFT that only I can own on the internet. Like, no, I can steal that in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, and it's also just worth pointing out Sonic. The Sonic series is famous for its environmentalist views. Granted, Sega and Sonic are barely, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but,
well, a lot of companies have things known for environmental views that companies are like, well, not us.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But yeah, that's the news for this week. I will note, we do record these a week in advance. Who knows, maybe something's changed since then. Sega, out of all of the bigger gaming companies, is usually more likely to listen to fan response. So who knows how this could turn out. But
Who knows?
For now, we are talking about some good old 90s UK Sonic comics. And we're reading from issues, I believe. Let me check my notes. 17 to 23. And we start this first one off pretty wild.
I hate looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this boy.
Yeah. Our first issue is about Sonic the Human. This one, we open with, like, Sonic tied up and Tails captured and Robotnik's about to beat them. But then Sonic wakes up. But something's weird.
It was all
For some
a
reason,
dream.
he looks like he's all fleshy and he's got black hair on top of his head and he's in a bedroom. He's a human.
He's a human and his vibes are rancid.
Yeah. I will note, the way he is drawn is relatively contemporary for this comic. Like, he's very much drawn in a style similar to your Beano or your Dennis the Menace. Comic books for children in the UK.
Oh, I guess that makes sense, but it just, like, looks very strange.
Oh yeah, it's a very surrealist horror sort of story they're going with.
Right, and, like, I think even if it was, like, drawn in, like, I don't know, Sonic was a human drawn in,
like,
popular now,
probably,
like, CalArt style, I would still be like, what the fuck
I
is
would be like,
going
get
on?
this away from me
Yeah.
right this instant.
It's the human part, if anything.
Yeah, like, one of the things about this is, like, I don't think there has been any attempt throughout Sonic's history, aside from this and one piece of concept art where they tried to make Sonic a human. Like I said, like, at one point, I believe, like, the artist for Sonic Adventure, like, drew what he thought Sonic would look like as a human, and it's still weird. It's consistent with his style, but it's fucking weird.
He's supposed to be, like, kind of a weird, cartoon, disgusting hedgehog.
This
man.
is
That's what he's supposed
this
to
is the
look
thing
like.
where Sonic's style or his, like, character profile is so distinct that anytime you try to make even the slightest tweaks to it, I say the vibes are fucked. Like, giving Sonic a regular person face in which his eyes don't connect anymore, and the fact that he's wearing, like, actual clothes instead of just, like, gloves and shoes, I'm just like, something's off here, something's not right, he needs to go back.
Yeah. I'm also going to give a quick dark shout out to Sonic the Comic, the podcast. Very good, very interesting podcast. they are very insistent that this isn't as weird as you think.
Well, everyone has their own vibe scale, and maybe there's just a little wrong.
Yeah.
Everyone has opinions. Sometimes they're wrong. It happens.
Sometimes they're bad opinions, but, we live in America.
They don't.
This is just what British people... This is just what British people look like. It's normal for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this actually looks like Prince Philip.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
This is what Prince Philip looked like in 1994.
His peak human performance. You may not like it.
So, someone calls for his name, but it's not his name. It's Aaron. And he's being called by his mother. Or so she claims. And
creepy-ass mother.
Yeah, and she wants to make him his breakfast, which is a big, tasty, hard-boiled egg.
Stinky, funny egg.
Just for... What if Sonic ate a big,
just
stinky
for laughs,
egg?
though.
Just for laughs. Sonic is disgusted and escapes.
Is there any backstory? Is it just like a random thing that his human name is Aaron?
I think it's just a random thing.
Okay.
Like they wanted to give him a random. They wanted to give him a human name.
I don't know if there was secret lore behind
thing.
Aaron.
No, I'm kind of surprised they didn't call him like Sonny or something.
Right. They didn't go with the Sonic Bible for this one.
This is actually just Eren Yeager, the early life.
No.
Precursor to Attack on Titan.
No. Then he would be... His vibes would be off in a completely
His vibes are just so fucked.
Yeah.
They're not, like...
They're not bad. They're not fascist vibes.
Sucked, though. God, yeah.
Sonic says no to racism and
Even
fascism.
human Sonic knows this much.
Yeah. So he runs away, but he realizes he's not on Mobius, he's in a backyard. But he hears someone calling for help. A familiar voice with a familiar pair of tails sticking out of the fence. We get a human Tails that also looks really weird.
I know I said vibes were fucked before. Human Tails is a nightmare.
Yeah.
But he has,
I don't know what's going on
weird.
here.
I, cannot understand what's going on with human Tails, because it's just, regular Tails, but not.
Yeah. I don't know if it's, ponytails or something. It's not really clear.
I will say human Tails does have some drip.
Yeah.
Human Tails got that style.
He does. So, also, Human Tails has, creases in his forehead, and I will note this is a recurring thing with how they draw Tails.
Oh.
There's, this... Whenever they want to show, Tails being stressed out over something, they give him, a forehead crease, but it just makes him look old.
He's literally aging because of the stress.
It's just funny that, he still has the tails, even if they might be part of his hair.
I love that they couldn't really figure out any defining feature for him other than his tails, and they were like, well, we can't just, put tails on a person. And then they're like, but can we?
When I first saw it, I was like, is that a squirrel? Is Tails
they don't look like they're
squirrel?
attached to his body.
I was like, oh, this is a squirrel, not a human. And then when you guys were like, it's human Tails, I was like, oh, it is human Tails.
Yeah. And he seems to be in danger, but we don't know what's causing the danger. So Sonic tries to help him by doing a supersonic spin attack, but instead he just does a cartwheel. He doesn't know how to spin as a human. Uh,
I kind of wanted to see a human spin.
yeah.
I don't want to see the weird
He
flesh
bumps
ball
his head
spin.
on the. He bumps his head on the fence, and he's back in bed. The sheets have been tucked in so tight that he can't move at all. And his mother is back with that egg. It's been cracked open, and it's filled with a disgusting, stinky, bubbling slime.
Like a normal
That
egg.
big stinky
Yeah.
egg.
Mhm.
She looks so evil. Like, I know
Yeah.
why, but it's just like...
No,
really
this is just
good.
Sonic's normal mother.
Yeah, Sonic realizes that he's in some sort of weird thing right now, and he rejects the reality. He transforms back into Sonic. We get a
He
great
substitutes it with his own.
Yeah, we get a great mid-transformation shot where it looks like he has stubble. And he breaks out of the machine that he was put in by Dr. Robotnik.
Big
And-
surprise.
Yeah.
This is just
And-
like the sequence of the average human lifespan. You go from boy to boy with stubble to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just facts.
Yeah.
That's just the life cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was in a machine that was supposed to drain him of his willpower through this fake world.
That's just Eggman.
By
That
making-
lady
Yeah.
is just Eggman.
Yeah, that was just Eggman.
I will drain you of your
I-
willpower by making you eat big stinky eggs every day.
I do want to note, like, this one theory Sonic the Comic, the podcast, put forth, which was that this is, like, some sort of simulation of Robotnik's childhood, but more fucked up. But yeah, Robotnik escapes, Sonic breaks out Tails. He calls him Pixel Brain, which is just, like, this little jokey insult he gives him throughout the comic. And I think that's basically it for that story. I also wrote down some other stuff that happened in this issue. There was a news segment about the Japan-exclusive Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, which the magazine refers to as Sonic the Coin-Op. Tails has a series going on where basically the plot of this, like, Tails series is he goes to the Nameless Zone, which is supposed to be his homeland. He's been sending letters to the Nameless Zone that are embellished versions of the things he's doing with Sonic, where he's the hero instead. So they send him on quests to defeat Trog, who is this weird goat demon guy, like straight up just a demon. And he basically makes it through like a mix of like wit, luck, and his ability to fly. One of the later stories involves him and another fox named Errol, who's like bigger and stronger, rescuing a village elder, but it turns out the elder was Trog all along. That's what you need to know. And also, this whole thing with Tails' backstory never comes up again. Let's see. I can also talk about some other things that happened in the issue. Let me see here again. There was a letter someone sent in thanking the comic for not using too many swears, comparing another magazine from the era, Games Master, for using the word "get" too much.
Is that a swear?
Maybe
it is in
to,
Britain.
like, maybe it is to like a little kid in the UK. I know bloody is also considered a swear by those standards.
Yeah.
I will also note that people who send in their letters and get them like answered in the magazine are awarded a Sonic Water Fun game, which is like one of those bath toys. You fill it with water, it's got a pump you can push to like move things around.
Nice.
Yeah. Issue 18, Casino Night, Part 1. we're in the casino night zone. The games are rigged so that people become addicted to gambling and lose all their money. And to back this up, there's this big Robotnik statue that hypnotizes people to play more games. So Sonic's here to stop it, with the help of Porker Lewis. Porker Lewis is the tech guy of the UK freedom fighters. He's got a cool jacket and, like, a device he can use to, like, hack into stuff.
I will say all of the freedom fighters in the UK Sonic comic have drip. They all style in.
Yeah, they really do.
They all have some fresh outfits. Sonic needs to catch up.
Yeah.
Sonic doesn't
I
wear
know
clothes.
that.
Yeah, he needs to figure out a style other than just wearing shoes. He's naked.
Yeah. So Robotnik's got this trio of brothers called the Marxio Brothers running the whole, like, hypnosis thing. The Marxio Brothers are a combination of the Mario Brothers and the Marx Brothers. Their names are Grouchio, Cheekio, and Harpio.
I was like, Harpio's not based on one of them.
I think Harpio is one of the Marx Brothers, though.
Yeah.
And also, he carries around, like, a little honk horn thing instead of talking.
King.
Yeah. Robotnik tells them that they have to stop Sonic, where he's sending all three of them back to Marxio World.
Marxio World.
Oh no, not Marxio World!
I can't get money in Marxio World, where everyone's a Marxist.
So,
oh no.
Was that Craig? Let me see.
No, it was Devon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alright,
Sorry.
So anyways. Yep. Let me see, where was I? Okay. Porker Lewis's disruptor can, like, hack into the computer that's controlling the big Robotnik head, but he can't connect it to it from the outside. He has to get in there. So Sonic grabs the disruptor and heads over there. But the Marxio brothers are watching with their monitors. They call some of Robotnik's troop robots on him. Sonic gets into a fight. Then he falls down a trap door, which has a pinball dungeon in it. Gets bounced around.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You know, if I were designing an evil dungeon, I would make a pinball dungeon.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool.
I feel like it would be harder to pinball around a human than it would be Sonic.
Listen, if I was an evil rich tech genius, I would figure out a way to make it work.
Maybe put them in a monkey ball.
Yeah, put them in like a fucking monkey ball so they bounce around and I laugh and clap my hands.
Sonic eventually reaches solid ground and sees where the Marxio brothers are. They've tied up Porker, and in order to, like, spare Porker, he agrees to be captured, and they get tied to a set of roller coaster tracks. They're gonna get run over.
Yeah, so much for being spared, you know?
Yeah. That's the end of part 1.
Part 2 is the next comic. They're about to get run the fuck over. Porker's fucking losing his mind because he thinks Sonic doesn't have a plan, but he's like, I was just kidding. I have a plan. Chill out.
I would like to point out that in the first page of the part 2, we see that there are people on like this roller coaster ride who aren't like badniks. They're just normal people. Can you imagine if you got on a roller coaster for some fun and ha-has and people were just tied on the tracks?
Yeah.
That'd be traumatizing.
Can you imagine? You're like, what the hell,
scary,
dude?
Yeah.
Also, like, the fact there are humans in the world. I mean,
they're not humans. They're Gruchios from Gruchio World.
I mean, they're from
Marxio.
They're
sorry,
not from Mobius,
they're from Marxio World.
Yeah,
there's like humans in like another one of the things we read, though.
Maybe they are also from Marxio World.
Oh, yeah. I think, like, well, didn't Stay Sonic, like, say they were from the humans were from another planet or something?
Yeah, it's just kind of like the Star Wars basis of why there are humans in this universe. It's like, yeah, they just came from somewhere else. We will not say Earth, but it is from somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah,
Sonic is able to break out of his ropes by vibrating his hands super fast, thus loosening them. They escape. Sonic chases down the Marxio Brothers into the heart of the Casino Night Zone.
You know, this makes me wonder if Sonic has other abilities that, like, the Flash has. Because I was listening to Zero to Zero, and they were talking about some of the things that Flash can do with, like, vibrating his cells to, like, heal himself. And I'm like, I wonder if Sonic can do that.
Yeah, from what I know of this comic, they do a lot of, like, Flash-style pulls. I don't know if he ever does the healing thing, but we'll find out eventually.
I wonder if the Flash gets too stressed, he goes golden and gets really mean.
That's the fucking evil yellow Flash who jacked him off.
That's just what the speed zone.
The speed force?
That's not what it's called. Yes, the speed force. I don't know. Fuck this fucking. Yes.
What else? So they get into a fight with Sonic. They've got the disruptor. And, like, Sonic eventually reveals what it is. So Groucho smashes it. And now But, Sonic reveals his plan. He was just distracting them. Because while Porker Lewis could, use the disruptor from a distance, he is smart enough to just go in the computer room and disable it manually while the Marxio Brothers were fighting him. And that's just what he did.
Yeah, they had a bunch of badniks like 10 minutes ago. Where did they go and why weren't they guarding the main computer?
I think Sonic destroyed them all in that last bit.
I thought he fell down the hole before he did that.
Who
knows?
Maybe Porker Lewis
maybe Porker
fight.
Lewis is like a badass.
Yeah. And now the wealth is being redistributed. Everyone's getting their money back. Porker Lewis blows up the Robotnik statue, and that's the end of the issue. Let's see, some other things. There's an Eternal Champions comic. I just want to talk about it quickly. It's Eternal Champions was like this Street Fighter knockoff that Sega made at the time. It was, and the way this comic has interpreted it, it's like a team of superheroes from across time. There's like a circus performer who fought in the Russian Revolution. There's a cyberpunk vampire. There's a warlock, a caveman, a 20s detective, and a guy from Atlantis.
So all the coolest things you can be.
Yeah. Let's see. They talk about Knuckles, who's going to be in Sonic 3, which just came out at the time this was released. They talk about how Mortal Kombat 2 has hit the arcades. And there's a new Shinobi story. I don't think this one's as good, but it's pretty stylish. A big thing about this one is like it's like establishing the ways of how ninjas operate, which is more like in favor of like honorable Bushido combat. It's more about like pragmatism and deception. Oh, and a kid sent in a letter saying that his friend told him that Sonic would die in Sonic 4. And he asks them if it's true.
It is.
It's true.
Yeah.
He dies if you fucking suck.
Yeah. There is. Oh my god! I just remembered. So there is a game called Sonic 4, that we might talk about one day. Maybe I'll put it in miscellaneous because it's got a weird place in the canon.
I just
but-
assumed that Adventure was Sonic 4, kind of.
I guess, yeah, that would make more sense. But basically around, like, I think in, like, the mid to late 2000s, they made, like, a platformer for, like, Xbox Live Arcade and services like that called Sonic 4, Episode 1. And then later they released an Episode 2. I don't know much about Episode 2, but I played Episode 1 when it came out. Yeah. Issue 20. I'm just gonna go over this real quick. Sonic and Tails save a questionably designed and written tribe of bird people from a potential volcano eruption. Robotnik created an earthquake machine, and that's what was causing it. Sonic becomes Supersonic, which is, as we know, is his sicko mode form. He destroys
the Joker.
Yeah. He goes straight into a robot and just blows it up from the inside. He saves the day when the volcano erupts by flying so fast he super cools the lava into a statue of himself.
I think it's interesting that, like, he was like, I don't care about these people that are gonna die from the volcano. And it was, like, Tails that had to be like, well, if you can't do anything, for Sonic to be like, no, I can.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I love how evil Supersonic is. Like, he just goes super and is just like, okay, I'm getting out of here. And Tails is like, take me with you. And he's like, no, die.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you creep. Like, he calls Tails a creep.
Like,
and, like,
he, like,
it's just because all the other Supersonics just seem to be Sonic, but, like, powerful. But this Supersonic is like, I am gonna become the Joker.
he, like, pops out of it and Tails is like, hey, are you still mad at me? And he's just like, buddy, you know I don't remember shit after I turn back. I'm just like, bro.
This Jekyll and Hyde ass.
Yeah. So, some other things to note. There's a report on the Winter Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Before E3, the main, like, thing for video game conferences was the Consumer Electronics Show.
When did E3 start?
I don't remember. I think it was, like, 96 or 97.
Damn, that's earlier than I thought it would be.
Let me actually just check real quick.
Sorry.
When did E3 start? Oh, 95. So, like, a year after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Let me... Okay, and a kid sent in a letter saying to print this letter or I'll scream.
Excuse me?
Don't scream, child.
Please, child, calm down.
A fucking scream!
I'm gonna fucking lose it!
Scream and scream. I'll scream and scream and scream. Ah! Issue 21. Girl Trouble, Part 1.
Oh, you know those women.
21 and 22 are both kind of about Amy.
I mean, in a way.
She's in
a way, yeah.
She is introduced to this comic. She gets arrested by Robotnik's forces for saying she and Sonic were dating. They weren't. A thing I want to talk about right now is, like, this comic's version of Amy. So, first and foremost, the obvious design difference, which is they misinterpreted the one piece of, like, reference art they had of her, where she was, like, being carried by Sonic, and thought she, like, always had, like, her spikes, like, swooped up and back. It's a look.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's neat.
She looks more like the one from the game she was originally from, or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Sonic CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have been going off the CD stuff for this. Actually, this is the interesting part about her. After a certain point in the comic, like, actually pretty early on, Nigel Kitching, the main writer of Sonic the Comic, realized that Amy in her incarnation wasn't just wasn't very interesting. There wasn't a lot to do with her. So eventually he, like, completely changes her, like, she sort of becomes, like, her own independent character. She changes up her outfit. She gets, like, combat boots and stuff. And she carries around a crossbow. It's a very different depiction of Amy than I think anything that would come
Good,
after.
give her crossbow back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
it's a
that.
cool characterization.
Because I feel
Like-
like she doesn't have, like, in the games, they kind of drop the ball on her characterization.
Yeah.
She's
She's
kind of
generally-
always just girl who harasses Sonic.
Yeah. Like, eventually they drop the harasses Sonic, but it's still the personality of girl.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I say, give
So-
her crossbow back.
Yeah, give it back. She'll also get, like, some new friends that we'll see eventually. I don't know when they show up, but we'll see them. And
What if she had a hand?
speaking of new characters, Johnny Lightfoot is here. He's got a red jacket and a pugil stick.
I feel like he showed up in, like, a preview.
I think he might have shown up once.
I think
this is the
Porker
first thing to
Lewis.
really use him.
I think Porker Lewis might have also, which is why
Yeah.
that's my name on Discord.
Yeah, there was, like, I think the last time we talked about Sonic the Comic, we sort of went over, like, these two characters who would eventually become Johnny and Porker.
What
And-
about Bob?
Bob. Oh, right. Wait. Wait. Okay.
Love the character of Bob.
Bob,
Right.
Bob the Penguin.
Oh yeah, Bob the Penguin. Sonic does have his, like, his Bruce Wayne, which is Bob the Penguin.
Yeah.
I will say every time he disguises himself as Bob, he's the coolest person around.
Yeah.
What if he was just like this?
What if he just wore the costume all the time?
Yeah.
Like, he can ditch the beak if he doesn't want to do that, but keep the cool glasses, keep the, like, coat and stuff,
Cool hat.
you know?
Yeah. Sonic, get some drip.
Mhm. So Robotnik's, like, robot forces shoot a ball of spikes when Sonic and Johnny are here to save the day.
I like that Sonic is like, Sonic's gonna be mad when he hears that Amy keeps saying it's a girlfriend. And then he's like, because I'm Sonic and I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, they shoot a big ball of spikes and Sonic has to run around and grab all the spikes before anyone gets hit by them.
Before it impales a child.
Yeah. He does, like, dramatically, like, save a child from a spike that was about to hit him. Let's see. We see Robotnik in his lair in the special zone. It's a big metallic egg with smaller eggs floating around it. And he's having an argument with PR dudes clearly meant to represent the higher ups in the staff. They're, like, arguing, you're just not likable enough, you know? And he, like, throws stuff at them, shouts them out, but he's like, you know, I should get a new design. And then we cut to Grimer, who is Robotnik's second in command. He's like this green Igor dude.
Grimer!
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten so mad that you just turn yourself into a big stinky egg?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm always doing that. I'm always changing my design this
New
way.
year, new me.
Yeah.
It has stink lines even.
He goes into Robotnik's office. And there's just a big stinky egg there.
Is he a robot? Because he's got the hand.
I think he's just a fucked up dude.
Like, weird.
I think so.
I think he's just a fucked up guy.
I think he's just a fucked up guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like I was like, Robotnik has like a robot secretary.
Oh yeah, he does have that too. That they like chat with Grimer for a bit.
I almost called him Igor, not Grimer. It's fine.
Right. He's got a very Igor design. So Sonic and Johnny head to Sonic's secret underground base, where Tails, Porker Lewis, and the Kintobor AI are. We established that like the Kintobor AI can like scan all of like the like information going through between like Robotnik's various forces. And he tells them that Amy's been taken to Robotnik's lair in the special zone.
I wonder how the Kintobor AI feels about his evilification.
Yeah,
I wonder how he likes the new design.
I do wonder that. So Sonic and Johnny go to like the Star Post, which is, you know, a big Star Post like the save points in the classic Sonic games. And they charge it up using Sonic as like the battery. And it opens a portal to the special zone, much like in the games. When they go in, like, Johnny's like, "Hey, Sonic, we should probably form a plan." And Sonic says, "No. Let's just barge in and get Amy in and out real fast." Then they get captured, and Sonic says, "I know we should have made a plan. That's what I was telling you."
He's like,
Grimer
"Sure, Sonic, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
Sonic is like, I have always been saying this. You should always make a plan.
Yeah.
It's what I'm known for. Careful thought.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Robotnik's office, the egg starts to crack. Yeah. And let's move straight to issue 22. Girl Trouble Part 2.
Cracked!
Yeah.
That's the cover.
Yeah, there's like, the cover is literally just the big egg from last issue, and it's like cracking open and you can see arms and legs coming out of it.
He's busting through!
Yeah.
Eggman busting through.
We left. Robotnik cracks out of his shell and reveals his new form, which is the Adventures of the Sonic the Hedgehog designed for Robotnik.
Yeah, I was like, he looks similar. He just has a different head shape, kind of.
I like to think this is what he does every time he goes through a character redesign. Like, he just puts himself in a big stinky egg and he says, "Hey, in 2 hours you'll see."
And Sonic just, like, runs really fast. And sometimes when he stops running, people are like, "Wait, you look different." He's like, "Do I? Nah."
Oh.
Hey, Sonic, did you get taller?
Hey, Sonic, where'd you get that, like, bandana
Scarf?
from?
Where'd you get that scarf?
Yeah.
Why are you wearing, like, bands on your arms?
Why do you have human teeth?
Hey, Sonic, why are you photorealistic?
I am always asking why he has human teeth.
Sonic, you take those dentures out right now.
He's, like, slightly less chunky, Robotnik. Like, he's still, like, egg-shaped, but he's less... I don't know how to explain it.
They, like... I don't want to say elongated his features, but he gave him, like, proportional arms and legs, so it makes everything kind of look more proportional.
Yeah.
They gave him the ability to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sonic and Johnny are in a pink orb while Amy's in like a cage. Sonic insists he doesn't know her, and I think Johnny tells Sonic to shut the fuck up. Like, Grimer's like, oh, you really think I'm gonna believe that? What, if that's the case, I should just I should just let her go, huh? I'm not doing that.
I'm not a fucking moron.
He's like, oh, I'll just fucking kill her then, and you'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
Johnny's like, can we, like, discuss this afterwards? Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. And Robotnik enters the scene. And reveals they're all going to be turned into robots, starting with Amy. Amy gets encased in, like, this robot shell. And Sonic, in order to, like, do something, knocks the orb off its stand, and bowls over some goons. One of them, like, shoots at them. I think Grimer or Robotnik tells him not to, but he does it anyway, and it breaks open the orb they were encased in, freeing them.
Poor Johnny.
Yeah.
He's very dizzy.
Yeah, the roboticization is underway. Sonic asks, do I really have to rescue her? And Johnny is, like, yelling at him because what the fuck? And Sonic just says, hey, I was kidding. So he smashes open the robot shell, he frees Amy, they escape. Robotnik is calling for guards, but he finds out they're all gone. Grimer was so mad at that one for, like, disobeying him that he smashed them all up.
I thought he just smashed one.
He just smashed the one.
It was the last one that, like, cause Sonic destroyed the rest of them, and there was only one left, and he was like, you idiot, you destroyed the only one left.
Yeah.
You fucking doofus.
Dumb.
You dumb butt.
We're at Sonic's underground base, and now that Amy's thrown herself into this mess, she'll just have to join the resistance, since Robotnik's forces will be hunting her down anyways for what happened.
He's a girlfriend, and he's like, no! It's not my girlfriend.
You're not my girlfriend!
They mention at the end of this comic Operation Metallics, but that doesn't come up.
Yeah, that'll be the next time we cover this. There's one issue between that and this.
Yeah, instead we meet the coolest person alive in the next comic.
Yeah. So, some other stuff in this issue. There's a promotion for The Lost Vikings, an early Blizzard game. A sequel to Cool Spot. There's an article about Right Said Fred. There's a new Wonder Boy story called Wonder Boy in Ghost World, and this one's a bit like high concept fantasy. Like, there is this realm where all the ghosts go to, and everyone's being attacked by the ghosts of all of the dinosaurs.
Yo.
Yeah. There's this witch lady who's Lookout the Cosmologist. She's, like, recruiting Wonder Boy to help deal with this. She's part of, like, this like, community of artists that live in Ghost World. They're all, like, creators and stuff.
The ghost. Oh.
Yeah. God,
Yeah,
imagine... I say this without knowing everything about Danny Phantom, but it would be funny if it was just full of dinosaur ghosts.
That would rule.
Imagine if you got to the afterlife and realized the dinosaurs were pissed that more people keep getting to the afterlife.
Now, there is canonically a dragon ghost in
Yeah.
Danny Phantom.
Interesting. Let's see. Issue 23, the last issue we'll be covering today. Pirates of the Mystic Cave.
It's also an Easter cut issue, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Happy Easter, Sonic.
Happy Easter, Pirates of the Mystic Cave.
Sonic and his team of freedom fighters are in the Mystic Cave Zone, searching for Amy, who has gone missing.
Okay.
Again,
Women.
They fight some badniks, and they find out she was captured by pirates. Let's see, Tails makes a Tails face. Sonic and Tails get separated from Johnny and Porker, and they get chased down by more robots called Flashers, who are from Sonic 2, in the Mystic Cave Zone, actually. They get zapped. They come to later in the lair of the nefarious Captain Plunder and his Mystic Cave pirates, who have Amy captured. Captain Plunder is like this weird-looking... I want to say he's like an orc or a troll or something, because he doesn't look human. He's got big tusks. I don't think they ever say if he's a specific thing. Plunder wants the Chaos Emeralds, and Sonic disagrees because Robotnik can't have them, but then Plunder reveals he's not working for Robotnik. Those robots from before are ones he stole from Robotnik because he's a pirate and pirates steal things. And speaking of pirate things, he knocks Tails off a plank, but as it turns out, Tails can fly, so this is useless. We meet Plunder's second-in-command, Filch. He's a ghost that Plunder killed himself for taking an extra biscuit.
These dudes rule.
Yeah, I love these dudes.
This dude's just so chill with the fact that he just died. He's like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
It's like my fault, so
it happens
whatever.
sometimes.
We are the pirates that don't do anything. We just stay at home and lie.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sonic fights Plunder, and Amy takes control of the situation. She explains that if they join forces, the Freedom Fighters can offer intel on the most valuable ships to rob from Robotnik. They come to an agreement, and Amy is free. But Plunder and Filch are planning to backstab them sometime in the future.
Dun dun dun.
Oh no! The pirates won something valuable? Who would have guessed?
There's a promotion for Virtual Fighter, and we get some great fan art from children in the UK circa 1994. There's a cool Tails fan art, and a weird-looking Sonic the Punk. So, that's about it. Yeah. I'm enjoying this for the most part. So, let us go to the Ask Zone. Listeners, you can send in a question either in response to one of our Twitter posts or anytime you like at your leisure. Or anytime you like at your leisure on the in the Ask Zone Discord channel. You know what? I should just call this Ask Zone from now on.
Welcome to the Ask Zone.
Welcome. You are banished to the Ask Zone.
We have one series of questions from Jasmine Marsh on Twitter. Who's your favorite Igor like?
Now I have to go back in my memory of all of the different versions of Igor.
Yeah.
I am blanking on Igor XPs right now.
Yeah, I feel like there was a good one in Courage, but I can't remember any of the details.
Opening up the Igor on TV tropes.
I'm just gonna put servants to evil geniuses. So let's see if this nets me anything.
I also like the one in this comics Decap Attack stories. He's fun. Oh, there's probably the Igor from Young Frankenstein, aka Igor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um.
I'm blanking on funny. I mean, my favorite version of them is any of the versions that are just kind of like snidely rude to the like main villain constantly. Like, don't really seem to be like
Yeah.
are there for just a job, but never really like try that hard, and are just kind of like, yeah, whatever you say, dude.
They're not like my master. They're more like
And they're like,
yeah,
okay, dipshit.
my master.
And they're like, okay, dummy. Just bet you'll lose again.
Yeah, I remember there was a whole thing about how Igors are in Discworld. Like, Igors are a specific species of, like, people who do this stuff.
Well, now that just makes me realize I need to catch up on Who Watches the Watch.
Yeah.
Let's see. What role would everyone have in a Peter Pan story?
As in all of us.
I don't know if they mean us or Sonic characters.
Yeah,
or what.
I was like Sonic. Or...
Well,
me.
Dr. Robotnik would be the pirate in his crew for some reason.
Right.
If I were to be in the Peter Pan world, I would also
Yeah.
want to be part of the pirates because they seem like they just go around having fun and doing evil things. Yeah.
Yeah, they seem cool.
Dan, you should be the crocodile.
Oh, yeah, I should be.
Be the crocodile that haunts everybody.
The TikTok crocodile. I forget what its actual name is. I just remember it. TikToks.
I
I don't know if it has
remember.
a name.
Um,
I'm going to look this up.
Might
mhm.
not.
Crocodile from Peter Pan.
Want to be one of the Lost Boys? Be like, well.
Oh, its name is literally just TikTok.
Huh. Okay.
Except the first non-binary Lost Boy.
Is Sonic prone to falling prey to nihilism philosophical traps? Is this what Dr. Robotnik's speed traps are?
No.
You know,
He has. No
I
thoughts
believe
had it.
Sonic is prone to believing in nihilism in only the sense that he's like, I don't care.
Yeah, he's like he's like more into like the actual Nietzsche instead of the Nietzsche everyone thinks of when they think of him, where they're like nihilism. It's like, no, instead of being like, God is dead, he's like, yay, God's dead, fuck him.
He's like, I don't believe in anyone that's faster than me, so if God's dead, that's just one less person.
Yeah, exactly.
to quote famous video game philosopher Brian David Gilbert, he either is God or could kill God, and who knows what the difference. I'm just too afraid to tell the difference, you know.
Yeah.
True.
So
He does have a Bible.
yeah, he does have a Bible. Let's see. For
Sonic doesn't realize there's a religion
Discord.
around him.
For Discord, James the Cat Girl asks, if you could copy Sonic's power through the power of mimicry, and you had only a day to use it, what would you use it on? I have an idea, which is I check to make sure I've got $20 to spare, and I just run across various actually maybe like 50, but anyways, I run across various parts of like the country to try one of every regional soda.
Ooh.
You're like, I'm going too fast, but I still gotta pay them because you wouldn't steal. Maybe you have the Sonic like morality too for some reason. You're just a bit of a Sonic for a day.
Yeah.
What would I do?
I would run around and give cops swirlies.
Yeah.
Fuck
I would
cops.
constantly run into Jeff Bezos' house and push him down the stairs. Parody in Minecraft.
Okay.
Or just lightly push him
Yeah,
before he notices and then run away and then keep doing that.
Let's see. Brashura asks, what fashion sense do you think Sonic the Human should have?
Well, first, a cool leather jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? He should just dress like Bob.
Okay.
Human Sonic should just still dress like that.
Okay,
Right.
so, like, the Sonic the comic Sonic, like, he kind of has, like, a binder out kind of look, and I'm kind of down with that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of down with that. But, like, yeah, maybe throw a cool, like, jacket.
Yeah, give him, like, a nice jacket. Let him
Yeah.
have his binder out. Like, give him some running shorts. I don't believe Sonic would wear jeans.
Yeah, I think he'd be
Yeah,
more
he'd be some
shorts
active
kinda
wear.
Yeah. Maybe some, like...
Maybe
Yeah.
some leggings.
Yeah, like that legging shorts combo. Cool shoes. I guess it would be the same shoes, but... Sunglasses. Gotta wear sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Our last question comes from friend of the show, Violet, Kitty Cat Herder. What late 80s/90s bands would Human Sonic be jamming to other than Crush 40?
Oh, that band.
Crush 40 is the name of the band that does, like, all of the, like, lyrical tracks in, like, the modern Sonic games. They do, like, Open Your Heart, Live in Your Learn, etc. I know it's, like, run by, like, the main composer of the games.
I was, like, fucking 6 when the 90s ended, I'm sorry. But,
Yeah,
so I feel like I
same.
might list something that's more, like, early. It's instead by accident. But I was thinking, like, Smash Mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would listen to Smash Mouth for the fun of it.
Sonic listens to
Yes.
ska. He listens to the Aquabats, Real Big Fish, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and so on and so forth. Yeah. That wraps it up for questions, so let's roll for next week. Let me find my die. There it is.
Sonic Spin for next week.
Yeah,
Oh no, I just did a
let's-
cartwheel.
I wish I could do a cartwheel down.
That is a 6, which is SatAM. We're going to be watching more of the dark Saturday morning cartoon Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah.
Oh, you mean Sonic Underground? No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's the rock. That's the totally rock version of Sonic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right. And let's see. Let's do some plugs. Okay. I'm Dan. You can find me at a lot of places, and you can find all those places at linktr.ee/big_challenges. From there, you can find my Twitter. You can find the other podcasts I do, which are... Hang on, who disconnected?
Devon.
Oh, it's Devon. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing
You
that.
can find the other... Yeah. You can find the other podcasts I do, like Pot of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. Just yesterday, we recorded the penultimate episode for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 1. We are going to be proceeding into the finale of Season 1, then a wrap-up, and then we'll be starting Season 2. Also, we are going to be starting the Cup of Greed tournament, which is a EDO Pro tournament where you create your own Dual Sona, you create your own deck, and you get to be you get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Against other players. Enjoy it. It's great. The last two were fun, and I'm hoping this one will be just as fun. You can listen to Stranger's Fiction, an actual play podcast focused on one-shots. The most recent episode to go up at the time of this recording was an episode where our characters went into the world of Star Wars. And Max guested on that one as General Grievous.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. And I'm announcing a new podcast called Video Games, the Movie, the Podcast. Me and my friend Maxie of Eidolon Playtest, Maxie Satan, are going to be doing a monthly podcast where we talk about video game movies. And we judge them based on both how they are as an adaptation and how they are as a standalone movie.
They're calling Dan Mr. Podcast.
Our first episode will be on... what was it? Our first episode will be on the Super Mario Brothers movie. The video game movie.
Fuck it.
Ooh.
And last but not least, you can visit at Xbox_holiday, where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. And based on the schedule going forward, Happy Piccolo Day, Xbox! The day after this goes up will be May 9th, which is Piccolo Day.
Oh shit, it's Gohan's dad's birthday?
Yeah. So, Morg, where can we find you?
You can find me at Haunting the Morg on Twitter. That's Haunting the M-O-R... Sorry, M-O-R-G. You can also find me on my other podcast, Departure Lounge, an airplane-based Hunter x Hunter podcast. That's a little behind. Oops. Bye, Craig.
Yeah, I can use... That'll be fine.
And then... I know I mentioned this last week, but I still, just very much enjoyed this episode. I want everyone to listen to the episode of Wow Cool Robot, where we talked about Char's counterattack for 3 hours. Because it was so much fucking fun.
It's a good episode.
It was a good episode. I know they moved on to G Gundam now, and you should listen to that too, but listen to the Char's counterattack episode first. Devon, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at GroovinGhastly, and you can find me also on a Hunter x Hunter podcast called Gone Will Hunting. And that's about all I got.
All right. And as always, Sonic is real, he is strong, and he is my friend.
He's the only Blue Live that matters.
The only one.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.